This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel up here in Brooklyn, New York at Brooklyn Camper Vans for their block party. I just met up with Tyler and Raela. They have a really cool shuttle bus that they travel in full time and work from the road, and they're gonna give us a tour inside and out, so join us.
Hey Patrick, thanks for having us on. My name is Raela.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is our bus that we live in. It's a 2001 E450. It used to be a shuttle bus and we did the whole conversion ourselves. Out here, we have like an outdoor table, and then we've got our lockers for storage. We have solar on the roof as well as a rooftop deck. So I'm gonna take you inside. So when you come in, you can kind of get the whole picture. This is like the main living space. So over here we have our kitchen. You'll see our dog Odie. Yeah, he's so sweet. He loves everybody.
Come on, Odie.
And then over here is our dinette. This is basically where we hang out most of the time. I work here, we eat here, and then this also folds down into like a guest bed or a couch if we just want to hang out. And then of course the decor up here. This is our open shelf that I just absolutely had to have because I love decorating, and these are all of my special pieces that we've kind of picked up along the way. And then this is probably our favorite feature of the bus. So we wanted as much fresh air as we possibly could. So we took the emergency exit windows and put them up here and put the hydraulic arms on there. So it's super nice. On a pretty day, we can open this one, and then this is also one over here. It does the same thing. So you get that nice cross breeze and natural light. And then, so if you've lived in a tiny home before, you know one of the most important things is storage. We had to put storage everywhere. And this is our second build, so we kind of just focused on storage as our main point. So this is storage back here. We have this up here, and this is where we keep like all of our shoes. Kind of messy, but it's shoe storage. And then we have our pantry here, and we built this out of like an old dresser. We kind of tore it apart and, you know, DIY fun stuff. And then here we have our sink. This can also double as an outdoor shower, you know, if you're in good weather. We have plenty of storage in the kitchen, and we have our 2-burner stovetop. Lots of uppers. We just have lots of food storage. We have lots of dishes storage. And then this up here, we did take the original ceiling out and put in insulation, and then this is just tongue and groove pine that we stained and slipped into place. We wanted more of like a cozy, warm feeling in here, so yeah. And then if you'll come back here, first off, this is my second favorite feature of the bus, and it's the skylight. We wanted the natural light, and this was like the perfect way to do it. And in our first bus, we didn't have one, and I always wanted one, so we got to put it in here. And then we have our fridge here. It's just an apartment size fridge. And then more storage. I'm gonna say that a million times. This is just where we throw everything. This is kind of like the junk space. And then we have a hanging closet here because Tyler is a musician full-time. So we have to have clothes that are not so wrinkled, you know, thrown in the drawers and everything. And then it was important to me to have a bathroom on board. So we have the DIY compost toilet. This is our hot water heater. It is, let me think, what is it? Instant hot water heater, and it just runs on propane. And then I would show you my shower, but it's kind of, okay, I'll show you anyways. So right now we have a ton of things in there just because when you're on the road and you're traveling full time, you gotta have somewhere to throw things, so. And then back here is our bedroom. So we have a queen size bed. And then back here is more storage. And this is where we house our clothes. So those are mine over here. And then on the other side, you have Tyler's clothes. And then under the bed is where we house our water tank. And it is 65 gallons. And then we have our lithium batteries on the other side, all of Tyler's music equipment. And then Odie's bed is also under there. And then back here, we have our window unit AC. And it runs off of our solar pretty well, but I think in the future we're going to add some more solar so that way we can run that just 24/7 and not have to worry about it like depleting our energy, you know. So then down here, you will notice this is Odie's room, basically. So he's a pretty big dog. So he takes up a lot of the room. And then over here, we have all of our lithium batteries. We have 800 amp hours of batteries, and then we have our Renogy inverter there. And I think that is about it for the inside. Oh yeah, this thing. So this is also a heater, but it's not as efficient. So we only use this when we are plugged into shore power. But this one is our diesel heater, and we house that underneath the dinette. So it's super efficient. If we were to give someone any advice on making sure that you're comfortable if you're in the cold a lot, then definitely do the diesel heater. It is so energy efficient. And then for the floors, we did the luxury vinyl plank flooring from Home Depot. It is water resistant, and after you live in a home that moves all the time, you will realize how important that is. And then we have our vent fans. We have 3 of these in here, and we wanted it basically because I do not have an exhaust fan for the stove, and we wanted to be able to turn that on while we're cooking. And then I have 2 other in the bus, but I will say these have kind of given us some problems, so I would go with maybe the larger ones. Yeah, that's what I would say. All right, guys, so thank you for touring our little tiny home. We want to talk about how we got here and kind of our journey of what led us to living on the road full time. So 5 years ago, we were in the rat race. We were working full time. We didn't have time to travel or anything, and that's what we were really passionate about, is traveling and seeing new places, making new connections. And we kind of looked at each other and we're like, okay, we're not happy anymore. What are we going to do to fix this? And Tyler was like, well, how about I just apply for a job in Tennessee, because we were living in Texas at the time.
Yeah.
And let's just go for it. So he applied for the job and he got it. And then what was it? It was a week later we had to be there.
Yeah, a week later we moved all of our stuff to Tennessee, and we were working pretty much full time, but we were in a new place, so it was nice. And we would spend all of our free time we would pack our truck down with a tent, and we would go camping in Smoky Mountain National Park, and it was just the most amazing time. And we would spend weekend trips here and there, a couple hours away from where we lived in Tennessee, and we just
it was really fun. But then we were kind of still in the same part where it was okay, we're still working all the time, we're only traveling an hour away, one day a week. So then we were okay, now what? And that is when the whole schooly thing became popular on YouTube, and we started watching some. We were okay, that would be kind of fun, if we could travel all the time. And he was kind of dabbling more into music, and that's what he does full time. He's a musician, and he started playing gigs here and there, and he was I think I can make this work. I think that we can do this full time and travel full time on the road. And I started looking for a remote job, and I started out as a virtual assistant for a travel agent who needed extra help. And we ended up moving back home, and we bought a school bus. And this was during COVID, so it was in 2020.
COVID hit, so I later learned that I would have lost my job anyhow, even if we didn't
it was
quit. So.
It was fate. It was everything was supposed to happen how it did, and it was perfect timing. And we got a COVID project. Basically, we bought a bus and spent that whole year and a half just working on the bus. And then we traveled for 6 months after that, hit the road finally, went out west, and the market was so good for schoolies. It was still kind of during COVID, and everybody wanted to get out of their house, and everyone was working remotely. So then we sold the first bus and ended up buying this one. And we were kind of itching to get back out on the road, so we only spent 3 months doing this one.
Yeah.
It was we wake up and work on the bus all day long, and then go to sleep, and it was like that for 3 months straight. And then since then, we've just been traveling everywhere, and he's been playing music, and I'm a travel agent now, and we make it work.
Yeah, we've been in this current rig for over 2 years now, and people ask us all the time, when do they see us stopping, or when do they see us getting out of the lifestyle? And we just we love it more and more every day.
Yeah.
And it's just like any job that you have or any life that you live, you're going to have bad days. But our good days that we have far outweigh our bad days.
100%.
There's no comparison.
Yeah.
So we absolutely love it. I don't see us changing anytime soon.
And a lot of people, like, we've kind of been showing the bus today here at Brooklyn Camper Vans, and everyone asked, like, did you do this yourself? Like, is the whole thing, like, you did it yourself? And we did. We had to learn everything, but thank God we were not the first people who decided to do this, because we had so many people on YouTube to watch. And I feel like if you can just watch it on YouTube, you can kind of learn how to do everything.
The information is out there. Some of it you have to dig for more than other things, but everything is there for you. And just if you have a little bit of determination, and I'm certain that anyone could do it. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time today to give us a tour of your awesome creation. This is was a church bus at one point.
Yeah.
So it had really low mileage, and you still have low mileage on it, only 106,000 miles. It's got this 7.3 liter Power Stroke engine. That thing's like bulletproof.
It's amazing.
It's a beast.
We picked it because of that reason, the low mileage and the engine it had, and
And I bet you it drives unbelievably.
It does great, especially compared to the last bus that was
the
34
last bus.
feet. It was
too long. It was so hard to find parking, and I was kind of a little afraid to drive it. I was scared I was gonna like sideswipe somebody, so I'd only drive like on the interstates. And this one, like, we kind of split up driving time, and it's not as difficult to find parking either.
And you have an Instagram for the bus or for your journeys or for your band, so I'll make sure I share that in the description.
Yes.
This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel here in Brooklyn, New York at Brooklyn Camper Vans Block Party. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys.